Right, got a little bathroom to skim out today. Haven't seen the job, just got a phone call from a bathroom fitter that I know. He said, could I squeeze it in? So let's go and have a look at it. It's 8 o'clock. Is it Thursday? Yeah, 8 o'clock Thursday morning. Let's go and have a look at it. So this is what we got today. A little bit of a contrast from yesterday. So no ceiling, just these walls really. And I think most of this is going to be tiled, so I'm just bringing it down. So just a very sort of bog standard little skimming job really. Nice and easy. Anyway, let's get some SBR on these walls. Do you know what? I must get another roll of this. This is it's like a decorator's fleece. It's been absolutely brilliant. I just used it again and again on jobs like plastering and decorating. I highly recommend it. It's been the best thing of all the sort of protective floor coverings that I've used. It's strong, you can cut it, it doesn't crease up, you can just roll it up and then it flattens out again when you use it. And the great thing is that this side of it, it's like fleece, so it's really absorbent. But on the other side of it, it's got like plastic. So if you do want something that you can just sweep off once you've got your dust off, it's been brilliant. I think I got it on Amazon. It wasn't much. I think it was about 30, maybe 30 or 40 quid for a roll. I think it might be 25 metres by a metre wide. But obviously I'm not trying to sell it for anyone, but just if it helps you lot out, it's just the best thing. It really is, just for like taking absorbent like splashes, water splashes and things. Absolutely brilliant. I don't know this customer, I'm doing this for a heating engineer, but looks like a pretty cool bachelor pad. He's obviously into his motorbikes and he's skiing and mountain biking and stuff. Yeah, it's a pretty cool place really. But what I do like is this, look, jukebox. That's something I'd like to own if I had the room. Nice, isn't it? I could just see myself back in the 50s. Standing at a jukebox looking all cool. But back to reality. So we're all SBR'd in here. It's all had 2 coats actually of SBR on that. Now that whole window wall is being tiled, as is the surrounds, because obviously there's a bath going back in there, 1700 bath going back in there. I did ask the fella if you wanted that left. He's not too bothered because I think the new bath that's going in is going to be slightly higher, I think. But I'll fill it in with something anyway. So it won't be pretty because it's obviously going to have another bath straight in there. So I'll just fill it up with something. And because this wall's all being tiled, I'm not even going to put new angle beads on here. I'm just going to feather it off. Because it's, like I say, it's literally going to be tiled, and it's pointless putting angle beads on and then bringing it further out, and then you've got another tile bringing it out. You might as well try and keep that window line as tight as it can be really, because the tiles are going to lose a bit of depth off that. Same with here, and it's already wonky, like you can see. Blimey, that is bowed, isn't it? You've hardly got anything there. So the last thing I want to be doing really is putting a bead on here and bringing it out another 4 or 5 mil. So I'll just feather off to the edges of them. The plumber's dot and dabbed that on for me, but there's still a little bit of a discrepancy there, so I'm gonna have to chuck a thick coat on there. Same with there, that's where the boxing was. Oh yeah, so that's old plasterboard. You can see that plasterboard's gone like really off colour. If you ever see that on jobs, don't presume that you can just skim over it. If it's gone off that colour as much as that, it's really old and it's just going to suck the death out of anything like that. So again, SBR, PVA on your old plasterboard. So I wasn't sure what the brief was on this room, because I know some of it's being told, some of it ain't. So I thought, you know what, I'll just skim the lot. It's not worth pissing about really. I'll just skim everything. Ceiling hasn't got to be done, so it's no bother really. Do you know what the weirdest thing is? I haven't heard that song for years and years. And I put it on the Spotify thing the other day. I just fancied listening to some old Beatles. I put Revolver on, the album Revolver, if you know it. And I heard that. And then a couple of days later, here I am looking at a big poster of it. stick you on my head, I think, because it's such a small room. There isn't really enough sort of distance in the room to set up like a camera so you can see me. So you might as well just, if you're going to watch, you might as well just see what I'm seeing. I think it makes a bit for a better video. So let's just undo this a bit. I remember when I was young years ago, I used to go around these. I never used to take them off because I was scared of electrics. I wouldn't dream of doing that now, literally. That's it, you peel off as well. You bloody bastard, innit? Right, come on. Maybe this is why I used to go around them. That'll do. Hope this paint don't start peeling. Looks like it's a bit of a peel of this paint. That'll be just my luck actually. Nice little easy day. And then you end up having a bit of a peeler. Alright, anyway. Hopefully that'll be alright. I've put my SBR away now. Yeah, I'm just going to wet that with a brush. That'll be alright. If you've got little bits like that, it will be fine with just a dampen down. You haven't got to worry too much about it having to be PVA. Just damp it down. It'll stick, but you just really want to slow that suction down. Coffee's in my hand. It's got oat milk in it. It separates. Looks like Harry Monk in the bath. We was all teenagers once. Right, so I'll chuck that on first, I think, because that needs a little bit of building up. I'll chuck that on, bed some scrim in that. It's a little bit, it wasn't sticking to that to be honest, but sometimes as well, if you're putting scrim on something that there is a bit of a discrepancy in level, sometimes if you put your scrim on it and then you start trailing, the scrim can kick back because it's fighting against the different depths. There's two ways to get over that really. You can either put more scrim on top of the next lot to sort of knit it all together, or just float it, put your plaster on first, and then once that's almost to a level, then bed it in and it's sitting a lot better then. Nothing worse than when you're trying to skim and then you keep getting a little bit of scrim pop through all the time. So yeah, generally if that's the case, if you think it's going to pop through, just put another layer on top. You know, it's only scrim, it's pennies. Another layer or even two if you want, and then that will get it back to level pegging here, so there isn't an edge to pop off because they're covered. Right, you join me again a couple of hours later. That's all on, that's all looking good. just literally needs a final polish, but it doesn't even need that if I'm honest. That's on. There's a lot of high suction on these bits of plaster there. Again, a bit like yesterday, it's had 2 coats of SBR. It's just a normal SBR. To be honest, I would usually buy Kirk's SBR. I really like that stuff. But they've run out where I usually get it from, so I just had to buy like a normal Seeker SBR. It's a bit thinner, so probably not as sort of doesn't hold back as long. But anyway, this wall's all on, and this wall's going to be completely tiled. So speaking to the plumber or the bathroom fitter, so I'm not going to touch these reveals at all. It's just pointless to put anything on it. But I'll put a load on the face, and what I'll do, same as what I'm going to do there. I would imagine that's just going to be, I don't know. I was going to finish it with a sponge anyway. So I'm just going to finish that with a sponge if it's being tiled, because it's obviously going to need a bit of key. Seems crazy to polish it when he wants a tile on it. It just seems mad. So very rare you'll ever see me with a sponge float in my hand. I have used them over the years, you know, long before I was ever doing YouTube. I've tried all this over the years. I've tried sponge float, I've tried you know, plastic float, trowel float, trowel, you name it. I've tried it over the years. You know, I've been doing this a long while, so. But I thought I'd just have a go today, really. Purely because I've got it out for doing that. Otherwise, this wouldn't come out of the van. But I think I'll have a little go over here because this is picking up a bit. So let's do a bit of a smurf and float it up with the older sponge. I don't like it, it drags, I just don't like it. And you've got to keep washing it out. And I get it, I get the whole concept of it, but I don't know. It's a bit messy, isn't it? It's a lot of washing out. Alright, let's take a bit down here. So like I say, you won't really ever see me doing this. I never feel the need to. But I will finish that like that, so the tiles have got, I'll probably do it across so the tiles have got something to grip to. That's quite an old sponge as well, it's probably full of crap to be honest. So. Again, this is going to be tiled where the bath is going, so I'm not too fussed about what it looks like. But I must admit, it does bring me a cream up in it, that's for sure. It definitely does that. It feels so counterproductive. It feels like you're destroying what you've done. Last time I did the sponge float method was a few years ago now. I had a great big ceiling to do, and on top of that I had sciatica, and on top of that this ceiling was 3 meters high, and when I say big I mean it was huge, and I just couldn't move fast enough for it, and it started catching me out. But it did catch me out, there's no doubt about it. This was long before I was ever filming stuff on YouTube. And it was either give up and leave it, or it was keep going for it. And I was in a lot of pain because of my sciatica. And I had all these sort of like bandstands and bits of this and bits of that set up so I could walk across this ceiling. So it was already treacherous. So with that on sciatica and the ceiling going off, it was terrible. So I got the sponge float out and I just went for it like a crazy man. And I have to admit, it did sort me out. It brought it all back to life. And it was alright. It wasn't the best thing I'd ever done, to be honest. It was a friend's house. He was having his sort of garage and like a bit of a unit converted to like an annex for his mother-in-law. So it had to be okay, but you know, it wasn't for a private customer, and he knew I had a bad back and whatever. So, but anyway, it did the job. That's what I'm saying. They do work. Same with this. I'm not mucking about too much, because I would imagine there's going to be a shower screen down there. So I might just sponge that actually. I doubt very much they're going to put a shower screen there and leave that exposed. They'll probably put the shower screen right on the end. So yeah, I think I'll sponge that. Might as well do that now. That's it. That's got to be a better finish for the tiler, isn't it? Surely. If I was tiling that wall, I know what I'd rather have. I'd rather have that than that. So there's another one done off the list. Just another short video today, really. Wasn't too much filming to be done in here, I don't think. It was a bit tight to start setting up camera stands and things. But you can see, you get the general gist of it. That's that bathroom done now. And again, just put the sponge across. I don't know if you're picking it up with a light. Try and get in a better light there. But just put the sponge across that, just to give it a bit of key for the tiling. So it doesn't look pretty, but it's just serving a purpose, really. Nice and tidy, ready for probably a good mist coat first, and then they can stick all these, put the bath back in. I would imagine obviously bath there, radiator back there, and then I would imagine some sort of unit, you know, like toilet sink unit, sort of built-in thing, nice and modern, across that back wall. So you're not going to see too much of it anyway. So anyway, let's leave here now. Let's get away from here. Thanks for a great plastering job. That was really groovy.